to get together for this meditation, and more so in the mornings, trying to realize that Aham Brahmasmi, that quantum consciousness. Health is the foundation. Even Karthikeya sir used to mention we can aspire for anything, but if health is not there, health is taken for granted, the body is taken for granted so much. But if health is not there, then everything else becomes just, everything else doesn't exist at all, one may say that. If health is not there, we take for granted only when our body does not cooperate.
Health is real wealth.
Health is real wealth, sir. Okay, there you go. Then we recognize that everything else just becomes secondary. Everything else doesn't even exist for us because the moment we realize it, when that body does not cooperate, does not work. I was in a hotel in New York, and I was having extremely painful backache. And in the backache, it took me to move about 5 inches away. Just a bottle of water was there. To move those 5 inches, it took me almost about 30 minutes. Just lying down to move. That is the time I realized how important the body health is. It took me 30 minutes just to move because it's so painful. I would just try to find a posture using which, because I was lying down, just to reach the water bottle. It was so painful. To turn a little bit is painful. So I wouldn't turn. Again, turn a little bit painful. Then I realized this body works so naturally, so normally, easily. But then if it stopped, then how would it be? If any part had the pain or stopped working, how would it be? Then recognize it. Many body diseases are happening because we interfere into the body's natural working. The so-called lifestyle disorders, or otherwise, it's a lot more than lifestyle disorders. It's called psychosomatic difference. This whole week, we understand how either we're not having, what is the reason for not having good health or that energy, where we become very dull, weak, dried up of energy, or we withdraw from life in various aspects. And then how meditation can help heal the body, heal the mind, so that we get the vigor and enthusiasm and energy and then radiant health to be able to back and participate in life fully. It's called increasing vitality and passion for life. And when we gain these two, that's health, energy, and memory, our various faculties of the mind, when they start getting improved, then we increase our passion. Things that we don't do anymore, thinking is because of the age, thinking of this, then we increase our passion for life. The physical vitality improves so many, and then of course, the passion, the love for life will increase also when our consciousness expands more, where we confine ourselves saying that this is all that life means, and then when that expands more and more, then of course our passion for life increases. So then age doesn't become a bar, or my location, the position, our environment doesn't become a bar anymore. Something that we learn as we go along. But health and energy and memory is one of the core faculties that we'll have to get better, and then meditation makes them perfectly well. So today, Monday, we'll understand this, a bit of it. Before that, shall we go into a meditation? That breath mindfulness meditation that we're practicing, which is making everybody perfectly healthy. Just this simple observing our natural breath is healing various ways and then making everybody perfectly healthy. Just go into it once again. Those of you new, we are doing anapanasati meditation, or observing our normal natural breath. Be mindful of your breath during the whole duration. That's the meditation we do. For this meditation, we close our eyes, cross your fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap, and then cross your feet at ankle. Three things you do. You still the body by crossing your feet at ankle, fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap, close your eyes, and then observe your breath anywhere in the nose. As you observe the breath anywhere, here, anywhere, the mind slowly becomes empty. Our goal is to empty the mind. When we observe the breath, mind becomes empty. And when we are observing, our attention may go off into thought, and we recognize that you bring your attention back to the breath. So for the whole duration, we'll be working to observe our breath by putting our attention here, and while our attention may keep getting withdrawn into the thought again, so again we bring it back here. So that's what will be happening. And then before this anapanasati breath mindfulness meditation, initially for some time we will be doing something called heart elevation process. For this process, just follow my guidance actively. The crux of the process is to fill up your heart with an heightened emotion like love, gratitude, compassion, adventure, appreciation, by reliving a moment from your life where you felt very happy, very loving, very kind, very compassionate with a person or a place or a thing in your environment. Bring up any emotion by reliving a moment from your life, or bring up an emotion of the same by dreaming and visualizing about a future as if it's happening for you, right? Okay, Dr. Earl, would you like to say something? It's great to have you.
It really, I have no words to express. I'm enjoying every bit of it. Even those days where this second session didn't start, we are recording, we are listening to your recordings and doing daily. We switch on the recordings from Buddha CEO website, and we do the meditation, me and my wife, my daughter, all three of us. Regularly we do this. Health-wise, really I'm improving a lot. Actually, I'm a diabetic with the what to say, erratic blood values, ups and downs with 2 drugs. But now I'm actually only on with metformin, just a single drug, morning and night. And my HbA1c has now come down to 5.5 from 6.75 to 5.5, which says I'm not a diabetic now. This I noticed in the last 2-3 months after starting all these things. My stress level has come down, anger has come down. What to say? Totally, it is reformed me into a perfect human being. Very nice, very nice. That's why this time also I joined again.
Thank you, sir. That's great to
Yeah.
know.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
yes. Then I have recommended to all my patients. They're also doing with me. I saw few names today. They also told me it's very immense, very nice, very nice. All cancer patients, diabetics, blood pressure patients, they're all doing this meditation now along with me. They're also here. I even check them daily with the participant list. If they don't join, then I call them up and ask what happened to you today. This I
Oh,
and I should thank DRK sir for all these things, and for you. The way you conduct the session, it really takes me to the heights. Heights means really heights. We don't feel like coming out unless you say, close your eyes with the fingers. We just get carried away with you. Really nice. Whatever we, as you say, we can skip a meal, but we can't skip this meditation. 5 o'clock sharp, we are out of the bed. Then do some asanas. Then 6 o'clock, we sit in this meditation. which has never happened in my life. Waking up at 5 o'clock never happened in my life. But now I find a lot of time doing many things. Really, it's a wonderful experience. Very wonderful.
Thank you, sir. That's so great. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Karthikeyan, sir, you're...
That's a great sharing, Chandra. Coming from a man
Yes,
like
sir.
Dr. Arul, my God, it is amazing. But Dr. Arul, 5.5 is too low. That's dangerous. Don't bring it down to that level.
Yes, sir. I didn't bring it, but now I want to cut down on my medication and see what happens.
Metformin is dangerous. Stop it.
Yes, sir. Yes, I know. But since I was on it for a long time.
Now, because 5.5 is low,
Yes, yes.
imagine what an impact this meditation has on you. Your sharing is amazing. Chandra, there is no better sharing is required. If it comes from Dr. Arul, himself eminent man, a healer of cancer and all that. Amazing. I'm thrilled to
Yes,
hear
sir.
from Dr. Arul. I've been persuading him. I'm happy. And once he started, he's there with his whole family. Wonderful. So happy.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sir, even
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sibi is doing in London, sir.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, he's listening to all the recordings. He calls me and says, this
God.
day I do the meditation.
My God, amazing. Dr. Arul.
Yes.
I know you are attending it, but I didn't know that you had such a great impact.
Yes.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I know.
I've never seen HbA1c in my life come down to 5.5.
No, 5.5. Sorry for my. I'm a layman, but I will tell you, below 6 is dangerous, actually.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Hegde says the lower thing is
Sir,
more than higher one. You are aware of that.
Yes.
So, but sir, Karthikeyan, sir, just the body parameter, once the mind gets stronger, I mean, I guess this we can go on to a different debate. But the body parameters do not matter beyond a point once we are onto mind
Maybe
over matter, sir.
maybe
So
you're
just,
right.
but
Maybe,
you're
but
absolutely,
why?
sir. It's all.
Our eminent Dr. Hegde, my dear friend, says the
Yes.
lower HbA1c is more dangerous. Statistics show.
Yes, sir. I agree, sir. I agree with
So
you, sir.
now before you can stop in any case.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Wonderful.
sorry, taking the liberty of
Thank you, sir.
advising an eminent doctor.
Yes, sir. That's, I understand, sir. I understand.
Yeah. Wonderful doctor. I'm so happy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It all happened because of you.
Well, because of Chandra,
Wonderful.
because of Buddha,
Yes.
because of
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course. The way Chandra sir is conducting, really, you just forget everything.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. I love this. So, dear friends, there couldn't be a better way to start and understand how meditation is helping heal our bodies. We all are, in many ways, leaders or aspiring to be leaders. And more so when we are leaders, or even otherwise, as employees, as team members, or homemakers. Can we afford to fall sick, say for 2 weeks? Can you imagine that you're out of action for 2 weeks when you're leading a team or leading the home? You're running a business and 2 weeks you're out. Can we afford it? And if there is this chronic illness, then it keeps on getting us out of action and inaction, out of action on a regular basis. That also happens, right? Every month, every 6 weeks, you have to send that email and say, I'm not feeling well, I'm taking off. Did you enjoy that moment? It's not fun. Nobody likes to keep asking for leave. And there are many times where we have to drag ourselves to work painfully. We're not well, but then we know we have to go, particularly for businessmen, entrepreneurs, where they have no option. So do we like that? And all the health challenges that are there, inherently there, significantly in many ways, is mind over matter. And even otherwise, now, epigenetics, that beautiful research that's going on, is telling us that when we elevate a body into heightened emotion and feeling, we can actually upregulate many genes and produce new protein in a way that it can go back and reconstruct, repair the body, reconstruct parts of the body. That experience that Das was trying to show today by Dr. Joe Dispenza, excuse me, by Dr. Joe Dispenza, that where just with a mind rehearsal of a heightened emotion of he feeling better, getting better significantly with meditation, he was able to heal himself of multiple fractures, multiple fractures. He was able to heal himself one by one, and then started walking after 9 weeks of intense meditations, where otherwise he was advised that he's got to be just lying down on that bed for the rest of his lifetime. So many of us were able to heal our bodies insignificantly. Meditation, this simple meditation, is helping us recover our perfect health. I use the word recover the health, not gain the health. It is there. Health was there for us. It is just that we've been interfering into our body system. So primarily, many doctors are saying that it is because of the stress. A lot of that health challenges are because of stress. Now let's take that part alone. And if more than 90 or 90% are due to these lifestyle disorders are the stress, what is stress? Our moods and our temperaments due to our past memories, due to the events in the life that are happening, which are either frustrating, which are worrisome, which are causing anxiety, which are feeling as grief because of loss of either a person or a business or entity, whatever that we really love most. And when an event happens, and then we continue to feel it, relive it again and again and again, then we're living off of our past memories, which we do not like, and then we are living off in these various modes. This alone is the cause of this alone, whether it is the anger, whether it's frustration, whether it's any of those emotions where you feel lack of control, you feel lack of health, you feel lack of support, you feel inadequate, any of those causing us to relive experience that happened with our interaction that happened in our life with people. And all of that when relive, that is causing stress in the body, stresses. Now what happens with the stresses? This is causing a lot of release of chemicals into the bloodstreams. Adrenal, there is one chemical called cortisol, which is one of the many, but then tremendously acting, keeping us with a heightened awareness, heightened awareness that it won't let us sleep. And with these stressors, there are a lot of chemicals that are dumped into the body. We can't sleep. We can't digest stuff that we eat. We can't do many things. Our decision making becomes poor. Our immunity impairment is happening because not even letting our heart function well. That heart brain, that the neural networks in the heart, about those 40,000 neural networks, they all get disengaged with the brain. When a heart is not beating well, and then as you have, and then you're living an emotion again and again, and then every time you relive an emotion of, let's say you had a serious argument with your boss over something, or you had a deep argument or a fight or an altercation with the people at home, could be spouse, could be anybody, the parents, because they're always trying to change you and then you're always trying to change them. That's the only thing that happens, right? Between a wife and husband, all the time, okay, I want to change you and you want to change me. So when these things happen and then we relive that argument, when that happens and our body goes into this heightened emotion, and then suddenly our amygdala, this is there in this second brain, the amygdala is an emotion center, feeling center, is saying, okay, so my master is trying to feel, want to get angry, so I need to exhibit certain behavior in our body, so in my body, and then it sends out certain neuropeptides to go and then produce some chemical into the body. That's how this cortisol, along with the cortisol, this science says that up to 1,200 different types of chemicals get dumped into a body. The body goes into something called emergency mode, as called this fight or flight mode. Many of you might have read this article. It's becoming quite popular these days. Body goes into fight or flight mode. We also call the emergency mode. When there is a fire in our office, what do we call it, right? It's an emergency mode. Then immediately we stop everything what we do, and then we all are going somewhere, right, to protect ourselves. So the body also, very quite intelligently, has this something called emergency mode, a fight or flight mode. Fly away or fight. Two options we have when there is a challenge. When you're faced with imminent danger. So the body has it, and then it is designed and made. So that's why this is such an intelligence, super intelligence in this body. It is designed to protect itself when there is a physical danger, imminent physical danger. The physical danger, if there is a dog is chasing at you when you're going for a walk, or some wild animal and you're walking you're trekking in a forest and there's a wild animal and then it's chasing, and you see the very sight of it, immediately we start feeling that fear, right? There are heightened fear if you're fearful about it. Of course it can be. If the dog is chasing on us, I don't know, you see a wild animal, we'll become fearful, thinking that it can do anything, and then become the fearful. So automatically this body is moving itself into a protective mode, emergency mode, just like the fire alarm. And then we go into the emergency mode. What do? We drop everything. We gain all the strength. We become pretty focused, right? And then we got to just come out. Isn't what we do that's what we've been told, the fire alarm procedure. Immediately stop what you're doing, right? Find the nearest exit, run, and then take the position in some safe place, whatever that has been given as instruction. So exact same thing without you and I knowing, when our body is going to emergency mode or this fight or flight mode, whenever it sees a physical danger, like a dog chasing or a wild animal that we see. And as a result, dear friends, but this fight or flight mode requires it to actually, obviously for everything requires some special. So it requires all these chemicals to be dumped into the body. Fly away or fight when that situation comes, right? Run away or fight. If you can't run away because you're trapped in an area, then what do? We gain all the strength. So in order to gain the strength, in order to run away, we have to have enough power in our legs or hands. And so body is dumping these various chemicals, using which it pumps a lot more blood into the legs and hands. It's called that fight or flight mode. It goes into this emergency mode, and there is pumping more blood into legs and hands so that they get the power to run, they get the power to fight. It is getting our eyesight become narrow focus so that you don't get distracted this way, that way. Narrow focus so that you can be clear. You can run, then you can be clear in front. All the attention is given. I also read that it releases some chemicals so the body becomes distasteful. It senses the danger and then produces some chemical distasteful in case something is going to bite you. It should leave you unharmed. So it becomes distasteful. Now, in order to do all of this extra work, just the way we drop our work when there is a fire alarm and we run, in order to do this extra work, you couldn't be thinking about, you couldn't be still making a phone call while, going out, right? And you would be dropping the phone call and then run, because you got to put all attention onto escaping and exiting. And so the same way, in order to do that, the body is doing what? I mean, it is recognizing and then making a decision at that point and saying, okay, I have the sexual gland system. I don't need them right now. I care least about how it functions. My digestive system, this is the least of the bothering at this time when I'm trying to protect myself. It stops, it shuts down, does not let it continue, because it's got to pull all the energy into the bloodstream. It has to pump more blood into the legs and hands. So it's just taking that, okay, it's taking each and every system that's not required to shut down, just the way we do it. Cognitive functioning. Right here, the pineal gland, pituitary gland area that is in the brain working beautifully, it says, okay, not required. Okay, let's shut it down. Pituitary not, but parts of it get shut down, where the cognitive function, which is in our neocortex, the frontal cortex, this brain cortex, neocortex, of conscious mind, it shuts down, because conscious mind is all of the analytical functions like decision making, learning, reasoning, logic, everything shuts down because it's not required at that point. All it required was physical strength to run and fight, nothing more. So this is good. In a physical emergency, it is good because what happens, the moment the danger is out, the moment that we escape out of this, that imminent physical danger, then immediately we cool off. And then all the chemicals slowly get withdrawn. This dump of chemicals is happening, it gets withdrawn. The effect of it stays in the body for a few hours, but at least the chemicals no longer get dumped and is getting withdrawn. And so we slowly come back to the normalcy of the body. It's good. Body was intelligent to protect in a physical danger, but the problem is, dear friends, with all those moods and temperaments, when we have a loss in the family and then we grieve over it and over it and over it, and all that moods that we carry on for weeks and weeks, or we relive, the stats says that we relive an experience that is positive or negative 50% more when we relive. When we talk about it, we relive 50% more. That means if you fought with your manager, if you had only used 2 dialogues, the next time when you tell your friend about it, you're using a 3rd dialogue, you're adding a 3rd dialogue because you feel good that, you feel that, okay, you magnified it more and made you point your friend, made you point your spouse about that fight. We relive more. That means we are experiencing more of it in a negative way. And when we do this, friends, when you have these emotions, then those such emotions are also causing, they're called the stressors, they're also causing a body to go into this fight or flight mode. That means it is actually going and then dumping all those 1200 chemicals, a ton of this cortisol. And as a result, we are doing what? When we are continuing, and then because you're reliving, what's happening? 95% of the time, we are in the redundant thoughts and then 80% negative. That's a stat. If 80% are negative and anxious, worrisome, fearful, and if they're all are continuously keeping a body in and fight or flight mode, that means in a stressful mode all the time, which means you understand now it is actually dumping those chemicals, and chemicals we care least, we don't know, but it is actually impairing the functioning of various systems, digestive system. First thing that happens for people who are stressful, heartburns, indigestion, right? Constipations, because the digestive system doesn't work well. Very common, isn't it? Everybody, then there is a very young, but then suddenly we say, I'm getting heartburns. It's because they're stressful. Our decision making becomes so poor because cognitive brain is shut off. Again, what is shut off means less blood there and more blood into legs and hands. Less blood here, so less functioning, right, of it. And so the cognitive the decision making becomes poor, and as a result, we make sillier mistakes. Whenever we are in a crisis, whenever a stressful situation, people make 2 out of 5 mistakes are made when they're crisis. So people make silly things, silly mistakes are made naturally, right? Because we're not, cognitive is not working well. Decision making is very, very poor. Judgment is very, very poor. So stress is, and when we are reliving these past memories again and again, not recognizing it, dear friends, and then moving the body into an emergency mode, and as a result, constantly keeping it in a fight or flight mode, and as a result, constantly interfering into the body's functioning. Most of the systems are shut down. There is no sex drive. There is no appetite for even having a normal, greater relationship because it's just, the system is not working. Indigestion. So all of this, dear friends. So what is the way out? We got to bring the body back to normal mode. And the way to do it is absolutely to remove all these negative, stressful, anxious thoughts and memories. So meditation, when we regularly meditate, just that emptying our mind. That emptying our mind. There is also a sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. So meditation, as we empty our mind, as we are bringing down the memories of the past, which are of unsupportive in nature, right? They're unsupportive in nature. As we're bringing those off, as we're removing and reducing them, because we're not giving attention. See, where your attention goes, energy flows. So when you give an attention onto your thought, then it keeps flaring up. You give an attention about your fight yesterday with the manager, then it keeps flaring up, and bring up a fight 10 days ago, 1 month ago. You'll recollect a memory that your friend fought with another manager another time. Then slowly recollect a fight that happened in your community among people. The body is so intelligent, plugs in everything related to each other. and then it keeps flaring up those thoughts, and then as a result, it keeps flaring up their emotions, and it keeps putting more and more. So we need to lower each of this volume down. And our meditation, this beautiful meditation, since we are not giving attention off the thought, and then we are absolutely attending to your breath, staying away from the thought, so slowly, slowly the thoughts come down, these memories come down. And something more beautiful happening when you're becoming totally empty and experiencing this emptiness and energy field, then we start receiving information frequency, which is essentially allowing us to start understanding that these things are unsupportive for my growth. And slowly those memories also dissipate, and then slowly the memories go away. So we deactivate the fight and flight mode, and then as a result, no longer this cortisol unnecessarily lying in the bloodstream, and then no longer it is we are in a heightened awareness. Now, the stress keeps its body into the high beta state, that circle of waves that is talked about. High beta. Cortisol keeps us very, very awake and alert. So there's no sleep. Insomnia. One of the first reasons if the meditators sleep becomes better is because of insomnia. And then as the chemical is withdrawn, insomnia goes down. Aging. Stress is causing, because skin cells do not regenerate. Right? The body systems are shut down. Then what do you get? The skill is body. If the systems are shut down, everything slowly one after the other, other than pumping good blood into the legs and hands, then what happens with skin cells? Naturally, skin is the largest organ, and so it's got to slowly degenerate. It doesn't have enough thing to regenerate new cells. Cells are always dying, but then it doesn't have enough capacity to generate new cells. So our body becomes aged and then wrinkled. Some people at 40, 45, aged and wrinkled, right? Very early on we see it. It's because stress. But meditation is a perfect anti-aging. Not only it is removing the stress, but it's also producing that fountain of youth chemical, something that is there in the thymus gland behind the heart. That heart elevation, this gratitude, dear friends, if you can use that very, very help successfully into your daily routine, be grateful. There you bring up your heart on heightened emotion. And as a result, our heart is becoming very coherent. And as a result, we function, our thymus functioning, which is that gland which is responsible for that chemical fountain of youth. It's called DHA, the chemical, also responsible for a lot of immunity, the T cell production. It beautifully works. That heart elevation, gratitude. And meditation is helping us reduce all those one side, all those negative memories, and some of this gratitude process, and naturally making us becoming more and more one with everybody. So we drop our differences and express gratitude. Truly we feel to a teacher, right? And then to people, everybody. And then automatically we are becoming younger at heart, younger in body, anti-aging. That's why many meditators glow with this beautiful skin. And those who do not have stress are absolutely glowing. I guess that must be for Karthikeyan. At 83, we don't even understand that Karthikeyan are like that. Because there are lots of good practices, dear friends. So the last thing I say is that while this is withdrawing or interfering to the body by removing the stresses, but body is also healing with this epigenetics, with a heightened emotion, that creation, that we understand the manifestation process that we're going to do next week, where we visualize and dream about what that we want to have. See, the stress is about removing interference, but once that is done, where you stay neutral, then we start becoming extremely positive and miraculous in our thinking. And you start dreaming about a perfect health, radiant health, walking as if your legs are just normal, running, jumping, and then you feel and visualize all that heightened emotion. If you think greater than your body, you feel greater than your body, the body is used to a certain level of emotion. You can feel greater than your body, think greater than your mind in a heightened way, an expansive way, then your body upregulates several genes to produce new protein. We got to study these books on this, how the body is working. Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton is saying that 94% of our genes are reprogrammable and maybe more. And there are so many case studies of where people have been healing themselves. And so, dear friends, meditation is removing all the stressors, and as a result, gaining and allowing us to gain natural immunity and natural health, number one. That's why many people have healed themselves. I myself have healed my backache significantly. And I did not have to take medication of any kind for the last 20 years, thanks to my meditation, thanks to my great food, vegetarian food, something that we'll learn more around how meditation fills the body with full of energy next on Wednesday, dear friends. Just with this understanding that if we carry any negative emotion, we are doing greatest disservice to ourselves in cutting off various functioning of the body. So just by becoming aware and then taking other emotion out is going to help our body gain a lot of health. And meditation is that process which is helping us be aware so that we can check on our thought and then withdraw from the thought or withdraw from that feeling. We need awareness. We all know about it, many of us, but we don't have that awareness. People who know about it, now that we know, we can become more and alert. But then awareness comes when we are able to take away all that unwanted thought. Otherwise, keeping us busy, and the meditation is doing that. So thank you very much for staying through on this session. The more we understand, the more we integrate, and the more we can practice. The new brain is working beautifully in this thing called learn, do, be. We'll understand that so that every time we understand it and then every time we recollect it, it becomes a sticky point because that's how the brain is working. And as a result, then it becomes a memory and then it can keep producing for ourselves. So even this session, what we learned, to go back and listen to once again, understand how stress to fight and flight mode to the interference with the body, and then how meditation is helping it withdraw and then making it perfectly healthy. With that, we come to an end of today's session, dear friends. I request Professor Jagadish sir to provide his comments.
Chandra, the way you explained the effect of meditation on health and body was so good, nothing more to be said about it. And I myself, an example, I did have some serious problem long ago, which I cured through meditation. And God forbid, I can tell you, I have had no health problems at all, serious health problems at all. Very recently, not that recently, when suddenly I lost all my siblings. Um, I think I must have shared with you. I suddenly felt my age, in the sense, emotional. In the sense, suddenly when I became the only one whom my nephews and my nieces would look up to, I suddenly, oh my God, I'm old. My life is done. But this meditation, that is the Buddha CEO meditation, I started. I suddenly realized, oh, what the heck am I talking about? And I began feeling much better again, and I don't know, one or two interactions I had with you. Uh, I, uh, I don't act old at all when I'm with company, and the company of people I can. And I've seen with my students also, and compared to my other colleagues, uh, they're very free to mix with me. They are very equally pull my legs as much I pull their legs, because I'm very fond of pulling legs. So I think this is what meditation does, and what you have explained is very excellent. And thank you very much. You have done a very good job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jagadish sir. Yes, you are so young. We had a good opportunity to interact with you in Pyramid Valley during third and fourth and lockdown, but it's great. And you are so young, and then when I see that, there's great respect from your students to you. Wonderful, sir. Thank you to have you. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you so much for joining. We'll meet back tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tuesdays, we are inviting people who have healed themselves. We're inviting various professionals. So there'll be external sharing. We'll have some people who have used meditation greatly in transforming themselves. Of course, we heard a nice experience by Dr. Arul. I'm so glad. And so we'll have more people tomorrow sharing. And then certainly from you also, we'll take some more sharing. So thank you all. Stay connected. And we'll meet back again at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. And as before, I'll be on for another 15 minutes to share or have any questions to clarify after 2 minutes. Hi, Narendraji.
Yes, sir.
Great to have you. Namaste. How are the sessions going?
Oh, it's a fantastic, sir. The more we hear from you, our whole energy gets activated. And as you mentioned, that in our official life and earlier, of course, a lot of stress used to be there, and that has really affects our what you call professional life, or even our actions. And with the commitment and with the emphasis you are mentioning, had we had the opportunity of meditation earlier, definitely we would have been much benefited. And today, that whole negativeness or the stress all have been removed by my last 100 or more than that meditation. And also quite a lot of energy is getting activized. And even these other any health issues also, I'm a strong believer now with the positiveness and with the meditation we'll be able to heal it. And so the meditation has really helped all of us, and we are very grateful to you, sir. And as our Dr. Karthikeyan has said, you have also doctor of doctor, and and Jagdish also mentioned. So it's a very nice, all our youngsters and all of us, including there is respect to the age. And as you rightly said, age is the reflection of our stress, and we can be ever energetic, and age will never come in our way when we practice this meditation. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful, Narendra ji.
Yes, yes.
Narendra has been a successful organizational business leader, leading one of the top banks, Indian Overseas Bank, as chairman. Thank you, sir, for joining. That's wonderful. We'll hear from you your experience of 100 days in one of the sessions before
Sure,
the
sir.
formal closing, one of the
Right.
sessions. Thank you. Yes. Yes, I see a question. I get some negative thoughts or fearful thoughts, right, on the chat. You know, the goal of meditation is to reprogram. We have to move from fear to courage, right? We have to move from scarcity to abundance. We have to move from rigidity to flexibility. We have to move from closed to open. Now, everything requires some amount of undoing everything that's been done. So, fear is one such thing. The fear for various reasons. It could be of the past, it could be from the childhood memories, it could be during the last few years of a traumatic event. How things become memories are either traumatic event one time like a shock, it becomes like a memory, deep memory, or something that gets repeated over a period, over and over and over and over. And an argument is not a traumatic event with a manager, but then you repeat it, relive it, then it becomes a stronger memory. And then it is there, then it keeps producing that managers are not good. It keeps producing a generalized statement that managers are not good. Right? We form beliefs. So the fears are like that. And so if they are there deep inside, then and meditation is doing two things. Either if they're small enough, easy enough, then it is reprogramming. In meditation, we are releasing those fears by some emotion, or without even you knowing, some fears get released. Many of these memories get released without you knowing. How do they get released? Jnanagni dagda karmanam. Jnana, the more knowledge, the experiential knowledge we get, the more and more understanding we get, and many of these things keep going away. Now, in meditation, some of these things will get will disappear, or in some cases, meditation is pulling those emotions out, pulling those thoughts out, and then they also come up to the surface. They come up to the surface to deal with it. To in case if the fearful thoughts are coming regularly, normally if you're coming, the fearful thoughts are coming, just continue, because all we're doing is in the comfort of your home, observing the breath, isn't it? Nothing more, right? Nothing more. So all that's all we're doing. And the fearful thoughts are coming, just muster the courage and continue, because as you continue, slowly, that thought will go away. It will go away. But otherwise, then look into it and say, where is it coming from? Then you question yourself, then perhaps it's ultimately linked to some kind of a potential danger that you may perceive, or some kind of a fearful situation that you have encountered in the past. And then look at it. And we got to read books. Again, going further, we got to read books, or there is something called no death. Ultimately, everything is impermanent. Everything is energy to matter, matter to energy. So no question of death. So the more we understand, starting with Bhagavad Gita, right, and the more we read, when we read books that are talking about many doctors, Dr. Raymond Moody, Brian Weiss, so many of them also have experimented. Dr. Newton Conduit, who is a past life regression therapist. So there is a lot of science around it in terms of life continuity. So if you read some of these books, then we also overcome the fear of death. So the fears are there of various kinds. In meditation, they keep coming, but we sit through them. In order to sit through, you need to get courage, then read some of the books, then expand knowledge, then automatically you'll be able to start sitting through for longer. Okay, but they will go away. Those fearful thoughts, whatever that is coming up, eventually will go away if you can sit through it, right? Sit through the meditation. And that's why I asked to read books. When you read books, we expand ourselves. Our belief that I am much larger than simple physical body starts getting strengthened. And when we do that, and then we meditate, when I do these books and then strengthening, then automatically a fearful thought comes, then we say, hey, I am much larger. That kicks in because we have an expanded understanding, right? We got to read, expand our knowledge. Okay, even that conversation with God will keep on repeating that you are nothing shorter than that infinity, that intelligence. You are nothing shorter than intelligence. So that we keep looking at it in different ways from different books, different things. And we also then slowly are able to shed our fear while meditation is helping us to shed the fearful thoughts too. My question. Anybody raising hands? Veena?
As of now, no, sir. Initially, Raghurara Malingam sir raised his hand. Yeah, now we have Balasundaram sir. Sir,
Balasundaram.
please unmute yourself, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Balasundaram.
Today's post meditation, presentation by you is just hitting here. Amazing. I think this recording, we want it separately. It is more than a textbook for anybody to know. Like people getting into troubles like heartburn, constipation, BP or sugar. All this happens because of the stress. It's very clear, very, very clear. And people know, but people not following. And again, somebody lost their life or so somebody lost their close relatives, siblings, and some fight with the managers, and then reworking again and again, and then flaring it up. It's actually happening. It's happened in my life also. So amazing experience today, and it's just like a bullet, like a bullseye. So please post this recording separately. I want to share with everybody. Please. Thank you for today. Wonderful.
Thank you, Balasundaramji. You are such a passionate supporter of this cause. I'm just super impressed with that. Great to have you. And as I know, every time I read about this, and we become more aware. When we read, when we listen to this, we become more aware, right? We all have situations. My life is not perfect. Your life will never be. There's nothing called perfection. You know that. So we continue to have these discussions and then unpleasant conversations. The trick is in being aware and then dropping it, right? You know that.
No, reading in books is one thing, and understanding is other thing, and presenting the way in which is amazing. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. I love you so much for this.
Thank you. We're going to give big hugs when we meet day after tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Of course.
All
Waiting for it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.
Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Have a great day. Yes.
I have no word to thank you. Even in the meditation book, Brahma Rishiji says, meditation is the gateway to heaven. But actually, you make us to feel when I am in the meditation itself, this is the heaven. It is not only the gate, we are being there to contribute others to experience that heaven. That's amazing. And second one is, as a healer, when I am healing the other people, now I am supporting them to take that thing. It is not only the patients, what is the source for the disease for the patients? So that the way that the environment also it is changing, it is the being awareness and also giving up the unworkability, dropping also, and also cleaning the process. So it is an amazing and more than 100, and this is the third time I am completing, and I am promising entire life I will do every day. Even I'm like you, even if I take breakfast or not, that is not the difference. Being in the meditation and contributing for the life, I am committed. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful, Raghuji. And of course, it is like the Amrit. You can take any amount from it. Meditation is like Amrit, so you can get any amount because any amount of benefit, essentially what can you take from your God self? Is there a limit to what you can take from it? It's all it is. That's all it is. Because when we experience that field and we become that field, there's no limit to what we can get out of it. No limit in any dimension, right? We're never limited by the love. If Mother Teresa is the epitome of love, then we can be that, right? We can be that. If Mahatma Gandhi is the epitome of compassion or the willpower, then we can be that in doing and achieving anything, right? So yes, we all are making, in the words of Karthikeyan sir, a wise choice to latch on to the meditation, then we actually propel ourselves into the greater parts of life. And
I
Raghuji, you
have
have been inspiring. You're inspiring so many of your people who come to you for help. That's great. Great service. Thank you. I'm hoping to hear that you are organizing meditation classes and you're conducting meditations. You can easily do it. I'm sure you're probably teaching. Please do. And then any support you need, we will be happy to give. Teach as much. Yes.
Hi Chandra sir, this is Fani Kumar. I'm glad that I
Yes.
got a chance to join in your meditation class. I am improving so much. I can say that it has been 4 days for me to join the meditation class. The only concern is that when I close my eyes or in the middle of meditation, I'm getting some dirty thoughts. You can understand when I say dirty thoughts they are. Unable to focus on the meditation and I'm just what I call taking long breaths and then I'm sitting ideally. I don't know the reason for this.
Yeah, I just explained. I think you only wrote you're getting fearful thoughts
Yeah.
and explained. So we have to sit through the meditation and then continue. Thoughts will come, but I said all you're doing is you're still inside your home and within the four walls, well protected, right? All you're
Yes.
doing is observing the breath. So just that understanding should cool you down to say, even if any thought comes, it is only a thought in the mind, right?
Yeah.
Nothing dangerous to your physical body. So if we can, with that understanding, sit down and then continue into the meditation, those thoughts will go away. If you break the meditation and sit down, then you can't progress forward, isn't it? So you
Yes.
got to sit through it.
And,
You got to muster
and
courage
yeah,
and
that.
read some books. Read some books. If you're not able to muster courage with just this current state of mind, read some books, and then
And
automatically you will start gaining some courage.
yeah, it's not about books. I can say that what I call. I read many books with respect to meditation or some kind of APJ Abdul Kalam books or some kind of many other motivational books. I can say that I am a book lover. But when I sit in the meditation now, things are going beyond my capability. I cannot focus on this meditation. That's what I'm trying to overcome. If I sit ideally for 5 minutes, for the first 2 minutes, it's okay. But after that, again, thoughts are coming to my mind.
Coming, no? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So 2 minutes you're able to sit, right? So when the thoughts come, you're breaking, then go back and then again sit. Practice it. 2 minutes
Yeah.
you're sitting, thoughts
Yes.
come, you're not able to sit at all, you break, open your eyes, but close your eyes again. I mean, don't open your eyes. Keep your open eyes closed, and then
Okay.
again now go observe the breath. Another 2 minutes will happen. Now again you're out of it for 2-3 minutes. You're fully aware, consciously aware. Then the fearful thoughts are there. Then slowly go down, right? And then again sit down. But you
Yeah.
got to keep doing it. I mean, by the way, everybody is that's what they're doing. You are having fearful thoughts. Many people have thoughts, the stress, anxious thoughts about what I'm going to do to right now when I go into my office, right?
Yeah.
How am I going to pay my EMI this month? So some people have that worry. So somewhere or the other, somebody has something, and then we all into the thought. So, but when you recognize your own thought, then just go back and observe the breath. That's all you have to do. You got to just do practice. It'll go.
Oh,
Practice,
okay.
and it'll always go, right?
Yeah. I will try
We
that.
got to build the wall brick by brick. It's going to take every brick by brick. We got to build the wall. So we got to do this slowly, minute by minute. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no shortcut to the meditation process. This itself is so simple. Okay.
I think this is my first class being this much time. Yeah. Mostly after the class starts half an hour, I'll be just disconnecting because of unable to focus on the meditation. That is something happening for me.
So that's the part we have to really, I think many people perhaps who have the same challenge. It is important to keep our eyes closed, number one. Don't open your eyes. No matter what happens, don't open your eyes, number one.
Okay.
So one is keeping your eyes closed, so the external stimulus is removed. So you're not taking any more stimulus, number one. Then number two, whatever that you said, right? Even if the thoughts of any kind of there, the moment you're aware, go back and observe the breath. In your case, more fearful thoughts are this, you want to cool down a little bit and then observe the breath so that again you're fresh again for another few seconds or minutes. Just repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. If you give up, it's just like doing an instrument right in the beginning. It's so
Yeah,
tough to hold the instrument, so tough to even get our fingers right.
it's really tough, really.
Somebody
Yeah.
somebody learning singing, it is so tough to get our vocals, modulations right.
Mm.
Right? That
Yeah.
sapasa we can't even hold. So all of that, just with the practice, 2 weeks of practice, generally things are getting better. We got a hold on the process of meditation. Even many
Okay.
of them oftentimes write to me or talk about, hey, the music is distracting, or this is the thing, right?
Yeah, some
But
music is
the
well
music
down,
is
right?
the research is that music helps, right? Music helps to soothe and take the mind into your higher state. Peace of mind comes from art, music, dance. So we use music as an opportunity to bring the mind into a cool down state. So it does help, right? It does help. And but of course, because of various states of things, then we feel that no, that is the cause of distraction.
Okay. The
And
only thing
and but
that
then all
is
of it,
just sit, and close your eyes. That's it. No matter
keep your
the
eyes
concept.
closed and sit. Yes, keep your eyes closed and sit down. Practice that for some time,
Okay.
and then observe the breath. For practice it for more time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm able to concentrate. Okay, when you say concentrate on breathing, I'm able to do that. But beyond that, I am not able to, go to the next level. I know the music and all that. That's also propelling you to go to the next level. I mean, do I need to continue with that, or I need to change something?
So I am using the word observe the breath. Okay, not concentrate on the breath. I mean, there's a technicality. So we have to observe it. It's like you are breathing right now, right? And if I say, are you concentrating? You can observation is different from concentration, right? Concentration is going into the understanding the intricacies of everything. Then it starts putting an analytical mind to it, right? So we have to just simply observe as a way to defocus ourselves and go away from the breath itself, right? So
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
seeing, yeah, that's all. You observe, and when you observe that with that defocus, that where your goal is to even forget this mind activity, which is going to happen automatically when you observe it. That breath is going in non-judgmental awareness of the breath, observation of the breath non-judgmentally, whether it's light or strong or fast or slow, doesn't matter. If you just observe it non-judgmentally without putting anything to it, and slowly as you observe, then then you don't have to do anything. When you're observing, then automatically thoughts are coming down. Anandji, as you're just lightly observing it, thoughts are automatically coming down. Non-judgmentally observe it,
Thank you.
and you may notice. I don't know if you notice your breath is becoming shorter, light.
No,
Does it
see,
become shorter?
day for
Meaning, yeah. Go ahead.
I come in.
Go ahead.
A day for yesterday, Sunya meditation, I could feel something, but yesterday and today, uh, I was stuck. I was not able to get into that part of the meditation.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It is very common, very common. So, you yourself said it. If you already experienced something day before yesterday, then you got it. You know that something different happened, right? And recollect your experiences. Now, what we can do is try to recollect. Like today, when you're recollecting, see what part worked great for you. What did you do where you felt that segment you actually did well? Maybe you sat in a specific posture, maybe in a different place, maybe you are that heart elevation, you brought a specific emotion which was really good for you. A gratitude time, you thought about some people that are really good for you, right? Whatever that you did that you felt is worked for you, you do more of it. And then wherever it did not work well, then you have to do something different. So this is how you can improvise. Okay. So during the recollecting the memory of meditation experiences, you can identify, oh, this part is really great, right? You sometimes recollect, "Oh, I had this experience. I think I'm going empty. So what was that you're doing that time? And you remember that moment so that you can go back and redo it again.
Thank you.
Okay. If you're not analyzing too much, you can tell. If you're not analyzing too much and then suddenly out of nowhere you felt like, okay, you're empty, that's what you want to latch on to and say, okay, so I didn't even think anything. I just started putting my attention on this part of it and then it just happened. So then put the attention on that part again tomorrow. When you felt something different happen, I'm asking you to record that moment by what did you do to be that. So during this recollecting the meditation experience time, record it. So recollect and record it so that you can do more of how what helped you tomorrow, and then what didn't help you, change that with something else. Okay.